Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is not the Truman Show. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. And I want to help you get your mojo back. So, yeah, happy in a few hours. It'll be Sun in Libra. Just a reminder, or maybe it's new if I'm new to you, that the planets in astrology don't do anything to you, that you're an eternal, celestial, sentient being and you feel everything. And the planets only mirror your choices. They're symbolic of the things that you choose. We're going to be looking at the chart today and seeing what's going on in the world. And in the universe, and how that relates to you and your choices and what you want to be doing now. Excuse me. We're having rain, and the rainbows are amazing, and my hair is, so I had to tame it and do a mom bun today, and there it is. That's my deal. Sticking to it. Okay, so come say hello to me. We are going to be talking about the Sun in Libra, but also some other things. We've got a square today in the universe. We also have a grand trine with Venus and Uranus and Pluto. What does that mean? What does it look like? What could it be? And what you can do about it. So let's just take a look right now. Yeah, hang on. Here we go. Look at that. Okay. So, let me just give a definition of Libra in case you're unfamiliar with Libra. The basic energy of Libra, it's guided by the planet Venus. And Libra is known for its diplomacy energy, and it's very diplomatic and it's very polite. It's also a tyrant at times, or tyrannical in its self judgment. Or it's also that feeling of, I can't make a decision. I don't know. I'm definitely going to go this way. I'm going this way. I'm going this way. And then, a little while later, I heard about something else. So now I'm going to go that way. Let me see what that's like. And so that it's an air sign energy, the element of air. And so uses the mind to create the matter and looks for harmony while it's doing it. But a lot of times those inner self judgments can backfire. Now, every single person on this earth, regardless of sign, rising sign, moon sign, doesn't matter, has judgments. And those judgments, through the lens of, in astrology, through the lens of Libra energy, it looks like it's ugly, it's beautiful, right? Because we're looking at let me just for a second. Okay. See, now what I have going on here is that by the time it is 6:33 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, the sun will be at 0 degrees Libra. Right now it's in Virgo, 29 degrees. So what let me just back that up to have it be today. And got to get rid of that and that. Okay. Too many things open on my desktop. Okay, so where are you? Nope, that's not it. Sorry, folks. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Now, here we are. We're back. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we are, 29 degrees, and Virgo, Sun in Virgo at 29 degrees, Venus in Virgo, 21 degrees, and Mercury is retrograde in Libra. In a few days, it'll back up into Virgo. So we'll talk about the retrograde planets in just a second. But I just want you to realize that when the sun, I started singing Age of Aquarius this morning, and I couldn't get it out of my head. So, but when the sun is in Libra, what we tend to project into the world is one of two things, and it's very distinct. It's let me think about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Because the underlying feeling is harmony. The underlying feeling is I want to create something very um, um, functional, streamlined, beautiful. I want to help others create beauty. And then the other side is that sense of justice. And I will take you down and I will take you to court. So the extremes can be quite startling for a Libran energy, because when they're focused on the harmony of things, they're just like a Gemini energy, which is split in focus at times. It can be, yeah, I love that. Maybe I don't. I loved it when I bought it. Now I don't. Or I want things to be so beautiful and functional that no one can sit on the couch. Here's the living room. It's all white furniture, but we don't sit in here. It's just beautiful to look at. It could be that extreme. So what I often recommend is that regardless of if you have Libran planets or sun rising and moon in Libra, it doesn't matter. When we come into Libra energy, when the sun is in the constellation, it's not in because the sun's not rotating, but when the constellations move and they move and we are experiencing Libra, what? You want to find your judgments. Now, coupled with Mercury in retrograde in Libra, you really want to find your judgments because they will pop up faster. And it could be a split second of, why is she wearing that? Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, you look beautiful. Here's also the thing with Libra energy. If no one's asking you any questions, how can you get to know someone? Yeah. Think about that. If no one is asking you any questions, whether they are business related, let me just get rid of this for a second while it gets hotter. And it's supposed to pour rain today, like it has been for the past day or two. And so the humidity in my hair, and I'm feeling it. Thank you. If no one is talking to you in a way that promotes future growth, there's a way that the Libra energy likes to stay. Oh, hi, how are you? Yes. Great. Fantastic. So you might get the initial how are you? But whatever you're talking about or whatever is going on in your world, if you don't get the follow-up to, oh my gosh, that sounds pretty rough. What did you do with that? Or how did you solve that? Or what happens next? Or because touching on places that feel inappropriate, crossing boundaries, the Libra energy doesn't want to do any of that. So after a while, it can feel very impersonal to be hanging out with Libra, unless they are polarized and they're judging all the time. And then there is a distinction between judgment and evaluation, right? I want you to understand that. Judgment is a place of insecurity. And because it's right or it's wrong. They are so wrong when they do that. They are in the right. Isn't that amazing that they can do that? Right? So that swinging back and forth between what's right, what's appropriate, what's overstepping, what's the boundary. So when you're looking at being in many retrogrades, let's bring that up again. When you're looking at being appropriate and delicate, diplomatic, but also wanting to power through something and get it done, and you keep your opinions to yourself, but you're building up emotion behind it, you're still outputting an energy and a frequency that says split energy. Now, split energy is I like it, I don't like it. I like you, I don't like you. Maybe I invite you over for dinner and you find that what I just made, oh, that looks delicious. And then you taste it and it's not delicious and you don't eat anymore, but yet you don't say, oh, that really didn't sit well with me. So you're finding the best way to resolve what's happening while you're inside your head and your body. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about the sun in Libra, which happens tonight. If you're watching this in a replay, it's already happened. And we might still be in Libra through most of October, if you're watching this through most of October. But we're talking about really what's bigger than that, because it's not, planets aren't doing anything to you. Please understand that. When we talk astrology, I want you to realize that you're thinking something, and that creates a vibration. And what we look at, wrong way, what we look at here, okay, sun right now is in Virgo. Mercury is retrograde. Then we've got South Node. They're always retrograde, the nodes. Then we've got Pluto. That's retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus is retrograde. Pretty soon we'll have Mars retrograde, but then some other things are going direct in October. And so the thing is, retrograde means, literally, it's Latin, it means step back. So if you want to step back into your judgments to find out, how come this is the way it is in my world? How come this relationship with this person? How come this, meeting didn't go as planned? You come with a bag of expectations, then each one of those things has a frequency. And that frequency, I want to look at this. I can do it this way. So that frequency shows you what you'll get back in the world. So if you say, hey, yeah, you look great, and you really mean it, but the way your face is and the way it sounds, someone looks at you and says, well, why you gotta hate? You're like, I don't hate. I'm sorry. What happened? There are so many misunderstandings that can happen if you are not aware of who you are and what you're doing, regardless of retrograde planets. Retrogrades are only meant, really, in astrology, it's a time period meant for you to go within and check yourself. Check yourself. What are the expectations that you have of other people? What especially when it comes to, I can't tell you. I read this article. I wish I had saved it. Maybe I didn't. I just don't know where it is. But it was many years ago. This businesswoman wrote an entire article. She was not an attorney. She worked in, I forget where. It was some big corporate thing. But she wrote this article called "Pick My Brain." I'll tell you where you can go. Or something like that. And I was like, wow, what's that about? And, this businesswoman was talking about how she, had, as a consultant, had her services for hire. I'm just going to get rid of this for just a moment. Had her services for hire. If you worked in her department or in the building, there was always a communication around something. But if someone wanted her services, you hire her services. And she would get a lot of phone calls or emails, and people would say, hey, you're doing great work. I heard about this thing, this trade that happened, this negotiation anyway, can I just take you to breakfast, buy a cup of coffee, and pick your brain? And she went on to talk about how many years she studied, how much she put into her college education. I just hit my knee. How much she worked at her craft of diplomacy. And she said is worth more than a cup of coffee. And anyone who wants to pick your brain is someone who will not ultimately value the information that they get. Now, maybe somebody doesn't have the cash, right? Or to invest, or maybe they just want free stuff. A lot of people just want free stuff, and I can guarantee you most free stuff is not used. That's a psychological marketing training thing. But when you're looking at what you expect from other people, you want to stop right now with all these retrogrades and look in the mirror and say, what's my expectation of me? What's my expectation of me? Did I just mishear someone? Did I misunderstand their intention? I want to get clear, Harmony, Libra. I want to get clear on what that conversation was about before I go to the next place of fury or, apology or whatever mix of emotions happens in between. Right? So making sense? So what I want you to do, oh, hi, Rakar is here. So what I want you to do, come say hello to me, by the way. If you're watching this in a replay, please like, share, subscribe, comment. This goes through, I'm in a program called StreamYard. So instead of being on Facebook, which they change their rules every 20 seconds, and yeah. Okay. So I'm streaming from StreamYard and I'm going directly to YouTube and Facebook. So eventually I can go back and comment, whatever, but please share, like, subscribe, and comment here because it is seen on both of those vehicles, Facebook and YouTube. Hey, Barbie's here. Hello, too. So what's happening during this time of indecision? We are liminal. Liminal is between a foot in both worlds. How do I feel about that? What do I think about it? Now, with so much energy in going within, we sometimes will go too much into the headspace, right? And you're thinking, all the time, oh my God. And then you start obsessing. And then you can, but she said this and they said that. And well, how do I feel about, oh my gosh, I'm so sad or I'm so happy. And I think that's what it means. And he called or they texted and oh my goodness. And I think, and so then you start making up stories. I mean, people do this anyway, but when the sun is in Libra, and when we have a lot of retrogrades, it represents your ability and need, underscored need, to get clear on something so that you can ultimately create harmony. Now, every part of you outputs a frequency. So your brain outputs a frequency up to 5 feet in diameter. Your thoughts will then drop down into your heart space. And so when you couple a thought with a feeling, you anchor it with a neuron that says, not going to happen, not going to get my needs met. I wonder what they think of me. I think I made a fool of myself. I feel so embarrassed. I feel so terribly wrong. And again, if it's like a 3-way conversation, this happened to us the other day, something happened. There was an occurrence in our family, and I said something, and my husband thought I said something else or intended something else, and asked me to step aside so that he could take over in the conversation. And I just went, what? Huh? What just happened? And so later, and I was furious. I was like, what? Why did you usurp me? Like, what was that about? Well, because you said this and it really felt like, this and that. And then I actually spoke to the third person involved and I said, I apologize if I said anything. They were like, no, I didn't even get that from the conversation. I was like, okay. I went through a whole tornado in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I've narrowed it down. Depending on if I'm tired or hungry, I could do it in 3 minutes. But I narrowed it down and thought, okay, I went somewhere that was extreme based on someone's perception of me. And it wasn't even the reality for the third person. So I just want you to get really clear right now about what's happening. Hey, Rhonda. Hello from Illinois. How's the weather out there? I'll tell you, we're having massive rainbows here. That's right around the corner from me. And I took another shot, and I got a text from my neighbor this morning. Did you see our beautiful hood? And there was the same rainbow, but they had taken a picture of it. And I was like, oh, double rainbows. It's just amazing. You step outside your front door and it's like, oh, here we are. So I want to come back to what's that vibration that you're outputting? What is it? What are you feeling the majority of the time? Somebody share. Tell me, what are you feeling the majority of the time? Is it angst? Is it excitement? Is it uncertainty? Is it insecurity? Is it pressure? Is it frustration? What's happening? What's happening? Because you can take that feeling and you can thread it all the way back to, oh my gosh, you know what this feels like? It wasn't just about yesterday or last week, or I called them and they didn't get back to me, or they said they would come and fix the plumbing and then it didn't get fixed. What the heck? Oh, Mercury's retrograde. That's the problem. No, that's not the problem. The problem is somebody wasn't paying attention. That's the problem. So that's where I want you to go, is be as deliberate. I don't know if you're on my Instagram page, but I do morning walks, and even if it's raining, and I was walking and I suddenly stopped and I looked down and there was a little slug. And I crouched down and put my camera on this little guy who was just like moseying. And he stopped and he turned and he looked right at me. And I was like, oh my God, little friend. Hello. What a reminder. What a reminder to be deliberate, to think about, all right, I'm going to think about my choices, but ultimately I want to pay attention to the feeling that's the undercurrent of what I'm experiencing right now. Oh yeah, that sounds really good. Let's do that later. Oh God, it's like the last thing I want to do. If you've got that going on, you got to come together. Let me come under all the wiring. You got to come together, because alignment is what's going to create that ultimate frequency that when you output it, you get exactly what you want and have been working toward. Ta-da! Make sense? Does that make sense to you? Hey, Latanja's here. Now, just to help out a little bit, I'm going to just move this just to the side. I have my Universal Law of Conscious Creation cards, and I just want to pull a card or two. Okay, what's your purpose? What's your purpose with that thought, that feeling, that need to do that thing, that I can't let it go? And the Libran energy, remember, goes through extremes. Whether you have Libra or not in your chart, personal planets in your chart. Everyone has Libra in their chart because Libra's in a constellation, and the sun will move through it, and you will feel that. But it's not controlling you. But the extremes, the dogged, I'm going to get that done no matter what. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. 3:00 in the morning, you're sitting thinking about it in bed instead of sleeping. And so when you come to a place of what's my purpose? So many people ask me that. What's my purpose? Where does it show on the chart? What's my purpose? Well, you have one purpose. You've come to this earth with one main purpose, and that is to be as present as possible in as many moments as possible so that you can output the frequency of abundance and create matter. What would you like to create on this earth? That's your purpose. And then, sky's the limit. People say, how come that person who ought to be in jail has so much money and, has celebrity friends, or, has a jet, or has 6 vacation homes? And they ought to be in jail. So it doesn't matter how good you are. Okay. Please get over the things you were taught through religion, through parenting, through education. It's not good or bad. It's not about good or bad. It's about focus. It's about focus and believability. If you believe in something and you focus on it and you are aligned, body, mind, spirit, if your mind and your emotions coincide with a frequency that says, I can have that. In fact, I'm going to make it. And you visualize it and you say, I'm going to make that thing happen. I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to buy that building. I'm going to buy that car. I'm going to have that relationship. Even if I don't know anybody yet, I want to be in a relationship with. I am going to have that soulmate. That soulmate's coming. I can feel it. I get the surge of energy, and you output a frequency. Someone who's resonating that same frequency will match up to you. So it doesn't matter if you're good or bad, quote unquote. Who's to say what's good or bad? Neighbor, neighbor. I'm paraphrasing that old Chinese story proverb. Have you heard it? What's good or bad? Neighbor, neighbor. Good news. My son found a horse, and it's just this beautiful horse, and the horse wants to stay. And so my son is blessed. Well, the neighbor says, well, who's to say what's good or bad? And then the neighbor comes back a week later. Neighbor, neighbor, bad news. My son was riding his new horse and he fell off and broke his leg. Well, sorry to hear that, but who's to say what's good or bad? Time goes by. Neighbor, neighbor, how are you? Great news. Good news, good neighbor. Because my son had a broken leg, the Chinese army came by looking for conscripts, but they couldn't take him. Who's to say what's good or bad? You get it? But what's authentic to your frequency, what you output, if it aligns with your joys and your desires and you feel contentment, you feel like this is what I need to be doing in this moment right now. This is what now you're at work sometimes, or someone says to you, okay, so-and-so called in sick. I need you to take up the slack. And you're like, really? Okay. I don't want to be doing this right now. Resistance. I wanted to go home at 4:30. How come now I got to stay till 6? Resistance. Resistance in whatever topic or area in life is going to stop your dreams from coming true from whatever area and topic in life. So it's not about the thing so much as it's about the frequency. So if someone hands you a pile of garbage and says, do something with this, you can decline politely. Or if you are at work and you're, working with other people, or you're in a family and suddenly, your mother was going to come over and help you babysit, but she got a call and her best friend's in the hospital, and you're like, okay, well, sure, I understand, but now I don't get my free time. And you have a little mini temper tantrum. That's okay. Have your temper tantrum. You're going to output that frequency and go, this is my reaction, right? But deep down, you know what? I'm so blessed. But I wanted to have my free time. So start to create little bridges. Oh, dang, I wanted that free time. I had this thing planned. I was going to go to yoga. I was going to get my hair done. I was going to go and take a nap. I wanted that thing and I can't. So we're dogged in what we wanted, what we can have. So now as you just like have 5 minutes, set an egg timer. I have 5 minutes. I'm going to have a hissy fit. Go have a hissy fit. Okay. And then as you're creating the bridge to the other side to create the flow, because the wave is where it's at. The wave is your pure conscious love. The wave is who you are. And I've said this for years, folks, the point you're trying to make to somebody and to yourself, or you just won't let it go. Okay, take a nice deep breath. And I wanted it, but my kids are healthy. Or, they're having fun playing. But I wanted that time. You know what? I have a feeling that something better is coming. But I wanted that. So you start to, slowly talk yourself out of one way of being and into one way of being. And that frequency is like all over the place, right? And then you start to calm down a little bit and you just settle into, okay, you want to get it down within 10 minutes. I'm just saying. It's okay if you don't. I'm just saying. Then you go, okay, all right, kids, who wants to make an ice cream sundae, or let's play with the, color forms or whatever. Or, you know what, mom's going to put a movie on for you. I just need to lie down for 20 minutes and I'm going to set a timer. When it dings, that's when we can all be together. Something like that. So you're learning to set a boundary, get over yourself and your tantrum and what you couldn't have. And as you move toward the frequency of gratitude and appreciation, what happens is that that frustration that is minimized, now the appreciation is maximized, and that satisfaction feeling, that contentment feeling, that vibration moves back into the wave, and the wave is where everything comes from. The wave is everything you want to align with. Everything else is resistance. If you separate yourself and you start obsessing, then you're not in the wave. You understand? Okay. I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to do that 8-7-6 breathing. You breathe in for 8. You hold for 7. You exhale for 6. Or you can do the opposite. Breathe in for 6. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. And that will help to calm down the frequency. And then suddenly you slowly replace it with, I'm grateful for, and name one thing. That new tea that I got. This chair that's really comfy. The picture I'm looking at right now with the rainbow, that's makes me happy. When you can get in charge of your frequency and clean up your business from the frequency place, then you get that phone call from mom a week later. Honey, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to do that, but Janice is feeling so much better now. Why don't you and your partner take the night and I will sleep over. You go out, have a great time, and then you get or it doesn't even have to come from that same person. It can come from anywhere else. You know that thing you were waiting for, or I got a free ticket, I can't use it. You want to go? Really? Thank you. Like your needs are met from that position. And Rhonda says, I've been very frustrated, but only because I broke my ankle and can't do anything but keep my leg up. Had surgery, so no weight bearing. And ouch. And our hearts go out to you, and we're sending rainbow love to you right now, Rhonda. And that is frustrating. But if you can be as still as possible and read, do crossword puzzles, ask for help, watch shows, nap, meditate, watch things that give you joy, that do not maximize your frustration. Like, then you start watching on your phone. Oh, look, they're doing a walkathon for an event I wanted to do. Now I can't walk. So you come back to why you're frustrated. That's not going to help you. It just isn't. I mean, it sucks, right, to be where you are. But then as you move out of that, you say, I am so frustrated because, but then the couch I'm sitting on with my leg up, that pillow, I love that color. I love that feeling. I love that bird is chirping outside. So when you start to focus on things that give you absolute joy without any attachment, you start to alter your frequency. And then suddenly you are the rainbow and you're in the wave and your ankle heals faster. Do you see? See how it works? That's how it works. I hope this is helping. All right, let's pull another card. We had purpose. Your purpose is to find your center in as many moments as possible. That's your purpose. Find your center in as many moments as possible. Yay! Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the colors. It's like you have to get that simple sometimes without these lofty, well, I said so and so, I drive them to the airport. And then after that, I was going to go to the thing. And then after that, I was going to pay my bills. And after that, I was going to, okay, that doesn't exist. Now exists. Okay, nice deep breath, everybody. Because one day the humidity will be gone and I can let my hair down again. So I just found an updo. I had a barrette and just had the sides up, but then the other stuff was sticking to me. I was like, oh no, that is so not attractive. Okay, let's pull one more card. Hope this is making sense. Hope this is helping. Find things that make you laugh. If you can find something that makes you laugh, watch it over and over and over again. Look at baby kittens. My kid took their boyfriend to after the boyfriend, he's in last semester of college before he graduates. He took time off. And so I took a year off, actually. And so it's just been like triple work and then work on the weekend. So it's been like, So our kid says, oh, this is what I did. I found a petting zoo and we went and they're all baby animals. It was a baby goat and a puppy and a kitten and, they're baby chicks. And we just got to go and hold them and pet them. And it was such a beautiful afternoon. I was like, I started to cry. I was like, I love that. I want a petting zoo. I want a petting zoo. My husband would hand me a furry blanket and go, here, have this. This will work. All right. My cards are all mixed up. These don't have an upside down to them. So, okay. Find something that makes you laugh, gives you joy, gives you contentment. The sounds, the frequencies. I've got all my tuning forks, all my stuff. Here's one. Wait a minute. It might be, I have to find a way I don't have my striker. Let me see if I can do this. Nope, that's not going to work. How about this? That was so not satisfying. I don't want to hit the table. It's not going to work there. No, it's not working. I don't have my striker. Ooh. These are called angel frequencies. Find a frequency that you vibe with, a song you love, a movie. But let's not talk about the problem. The more we talk about the problem, get to know what it is, focus. Oh, I see what the problem is. Now I'm going to focus on creating the bridge to the future. And that future doesn't have that problem. It's not, okay, I'm healing my ankle. I'm healing my ankle. My ankle is broken and I'm frustrated. So we don't want that. Instead, it's, I'm moving toward well-being in every breath. I'm laughing at that. I love that movie. I'm reading this book. I'm so into it. My neighbor asked for if I wanted anything from the supermarket. Typically, I would say no, but now I'm going to say yes and learn how to receive. I'm going to allow myself to get back what I've been giving. So when you look at a part of your body that is going through something, you look at its function. Feet help us move forward. So if you don't know where you're going, ouch, ouch. You have a headache. Maybe you're dehydrated. Start with what's going on in your world. Make it simple. Eat well, exercise, like all the basics, people, right? Let's go to the basics. Sitting and weeding on your knees in the rocks. I threw down a folded up towel, like a beach towel for my husband. I go, honey, kneel on this. Why? Let's make it easy, shall we? Okay. All right. Oh, pretty updo. I did it up. All right. When I come back next week on the 29th, I will talk more about astrology, of course. Oh, I did say, wait a minute. I said I was going to talk about the trine. Let's talk about the trine. Right. We've got a trine between Venus, which is, look at the green triangles. It's an angle that represents ease, to Uranus. So Venus represents love, beauty, art, design, aesthetics, sensuality, romance, also politics and finances and law enforcement. So, yeah. Being stubborn, being willful, and the idea of harmony. Okay. Now it creates a trine to Uranus, and Venus is in Virgo, earth sign. And Uranus is in Taurus, earth sign. Taurus is guided by Venus. So, what's that? It's like someone's turning up the vibration and the volume on Uranus. Let's see. Irrational, erratic, rebellious, freedom loving, humanitarian, and also wanting that that solution. It could be technological, it could be computers, it could be a new dishwasher, it could be I'm thinking differently, I'm using different methods and modalities to help me find balance and harmony and that feeling of cozy. In the sign of Taurus, it has to be practical. It's solution oriented, which is also trining Pluto, TNT for the psyche, in Capricorn, earth sign. So we have some very grounding energies here that are saying, you've got this. Let's be, turn down the whining, the hissy fits. Let's just be practical. What would help you feel free? Well, if I had $1 million, okay. Well, we don't have $1 million, do we? And are you working towards something? You're putting value in the world to get that $1 million? Okay, so let's be realistic. It says Venus in Virgo. Not really, but let's just say it does. Imagine these are 3 people and they are your advisors right now. We've got Venus. She's very well dressed and she has a beautiful voice and she's talking to you from a place of experience and practicality. Then there's Uranus in Taurus. What a wild card. Been there, done that. Let's do some Jason Pollock splashing art on the wall and call it beauty. Whatever. It's identification with your own needs. What helps you to feel secure? Freedom. Okay. Rebelliousness to a degree. Music. Music. Oh, that's right. That always made me feel better. Meditation with music, or perhaps learning to play the piano, or using tuning forks, or a crystal bowl, or singing, Or maybe it's about movies. Maybe it's about watching something. Maybe it's about being sparked by science and technology, something that helps you to feel practical. And then what else helps you? Well, your Pluto shows up. Pluto. Pluto is going to pinpoint that one thing that scares you and says, well, what's the worst that can happen? Really? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? And then what? And then what? And then what? Let's just keep going down that rabbit hole. How about in Capricorn? Let's come up with that solution of whatever I learn, I'm going to share with others. Not forcibly, but whatever I learn, it's going to help me. Oh, wait a second. I get the core of it, Pluto core. I get the foundation of my fears. It's that I'm not enough. They will see me as a fraud, but I am enough because I have some new technological solutions and I'm practical and I'm weighing and balancing what is truth for me, not what everybody else thinks is truth for me, Uranus. I'm finding my freedom through self-discovery, Pluto. In Capricorn, I'm going to be practical about it and I'm going to do what gives me joy. And I'm going to stand on the edge of my reality and go, I want to go over there. Let's learn how to fly. What if I fall? Yeah, what if? Then what happens? Well, how about if I create the reality ahead of time? Backup plan could be an alternate. How about a net? Somebody catches me. How about I spread wings? Angel realm. How about anything's possible? How about I am able to go to the core of what scares me about me not being enough and then suddenly realize that I am enough? And then putting that into context of my daily life so that when someone walks in your house and says, oh, I like your curtains, and you don't go to any extremes like, I didn't understand that tone of voice, or if you like my curtains, then let me show you what else I did because I sewed these in the bedroom and I made this and I picked these out on sale and trying to validate your existence or allowing yourself to be invalidated by your fears. You don't need to go to either extreme. Who you are is who you are. Thank you is a great and appropriate response to life. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that I no longer need you in my world. Thank you for showing me that I'm on the defensive. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me that I'm powerful, Pluto, that I am unique, Uranus, that I am kind, and I love who I am, Venus. Okay? We good? All right. One last card. Go do something fun. Please. Please. I shall get rid of this. Thank you very much. All right, folks, take this with you. There isn't any card that wants to come. How about the whole deck? Oh, how many hours do we have? I am busy writing and about to release my books. I've got Aries Fire. These are adventure novels. One soul's epic journey through 12 lifetimes. So Aries Fire. I released it 13 years ago, went to bestseller, but on Amazon. But now I rewrote 40% of it to update it. And so second book, 10 Steps of the Bull for Taurus. And I'm working on researching the Viking Queen for Gemini. All right. All right, card. Come on. Come on. Don't be shy. I'll just have to pick one. Usually one just falls right out. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. And this came out with it. So first we have visualization. I want you to visualize how it feels. I want you to visualize how it feels to have one happy thing. Oh, they're coming for a visit. I'm so excited. Not just a dopamine rush, but the serotonin that goes with it. I'm so excited. Let me see, we can plan a dinner together or a phone call. Maybe we could do a group Zoom. Oh, this will be so fun. I want to organize this. This is really great. I want you to visualize feeling good. I am so grateful for that good feeling that comes when I least expect it. I am so thankful for everything that I am and can be. I am so thankful for who I am and am becoming. I am so grateful to the universe that shows me happy surprises when I least expect it. I want you to visualize with the feeling. I'm so grateful for, and then visualize that new job, that the help that I got, the insurance paperwork that got cleared up. I'm so happy because wherever you put happy, everything else works up and gets solved. Victoria says, I'm so excited. I'm moving into my own house soon. We're excited for you. Oh my gosh, just imagine moving through every room, opening doors, decorating, putting things on the wall, everything you want. Okay. Because we live in a world of, okay. We live in a world of rainbows. That's where we live. Perpetual transformation. It's a green card, so I have green screen. We live in a world of rainbows. Okay. Yes. And perpetual transformation. You don't like one feeling, calm it down, find that bridge. It is this. Okay. You acknowledge what it is. That's the now moment, but there are many nows in your future. And then you go from that now to, but I am grateful for the fact that I can breathe. I am grateful for the fact that I have help. I am grateful for, and then eventually you'll make it back into the wave of perpetual transformation. All right, folks, thanks for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and then find me on Instagram as well. And I will see you next week. Please join us. And when the clocks change, we in Arizona do not change our clocks, but when the clocks change, everything gets shifted, and I'll be back at 10:30. But for now, I'm at 9:30 because we're in line with Pacific time. Okay. See you next week. Have a beautiful day. Have an intentional day. Have a harmonious day. Have a powerful day. Have the kind of day you want, filled with rainbows. I will see you next time.